El exec, el exec, el exec. El Velez, el Velez, el Velez. El fenómeno que todos quieren ser. El chamaquito que no pueden entender.
How we doing, guys? Episode 140 of the Exec Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Velez. How we doing? Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment. Follow me on all my socials. Let's get cracking. Real quick, Atlanta beats Eagles on one of the dumbest plays that I've ever seen in my life. So how are you dominating the game? Relatively dominating. Kirk Cousins not really moving the ball that great and everything like that. The score was 22-21. That's how it ended. Saquon Barkley. Well, actually, this goes on Kellen Moore and on Sirianni. Because if my opponent, first of all, where I'm at, inside the 10-yard line, okay? So the touchdown's right there. Field goal's right there. And it's the 2-minute warning. And after the 2-minute warning, the Atlanta Falcons had no timeouts. You run the ball 3 straight times. By the time that Atlanta gets the ball back, even if it's at their 30, they're going to have less than 40 seconds left. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why you have to pass on third down. I don't understand why you got to pass on third down to try to get a first down and eke out the clock when the worst thing that can happen is an incomplete pass and you leave them with a minute and 48 seconds left. You get what I'm saying? Like, so Saquon drops the ball. First of all, no A.J. Brown, no problem. Devontae Smith is down there somewhere. He had a nice game. If we look at the stats, it's pretty, I mean, it literally comes down to that play. Because the rest of the game was kind of the Eagles' game. Jalen Hurts looks like the Jalen Hurts of 2 years ago, So it's kind of embarrassing that you just don't take the win there, So if we look at the box score, it's very simple. Kirk Cousins went 20 for 29 for 241, most of that in the last drive. 2 touchdowns. One of them was the last drive touchdown. Bijan went 14 for 97, 6.9 yards a carry. Bijan looks like the best running back in the league. We said it last year when he got drafted. We saw a glimpse of it last year with Arthur Smith, who doesn't want to give him the ball at least 20 times a game. He got it 14. He got 97 yards. Algier went 9 for 59, 5.9 yards a carry. Darnell Mooney went 3 catches for 88 yards. Drake London went 6 for 54. Darnell Mooney caught a touchdown, which was like he shook the shit out of the guy when he caught it, and then he went to the end zone. And then Drake London did a little like out route, stepped on the basically like ran up to the corner, stepped on the toes of Darius Slay, and then broke out. Good route to get the game-winning touchdown. But, the thing is, Jesse Bates had a good game. He had a pick, the pick that sealed the game. The defense played pretty well, even though they only had 1 sack, and that came from Matthew Judon, of course. But then we go to the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts went 23 for 30, 183. He did throw the pick. Saquon dominated. He went 22 for 95. No running touchdown, though. Devontae Smith went 7 for 76 and a touchdown. And the Eagles didn't get any interceptions or fumbles or anything like that. And they had 1 sack, and that came from Milton Williams on the inside. But back to the play so we can get on to our predictions. It's going to be a quick one today. How? Why? Explain. Why are you leaving me like this? with the decision, Kellen Moore, of I know you want to get the first down, but it's a 3rd and 3. Give the ball to Saquon. You have one of the best offensive lines. You've been running it down their throat all night long. Nope, let's run a flat route with Saquon. He's our guy. It hits his hands, drops it, 148 left. Kirk Cousins gets the ball with a 148 left. And boy, the Philadelphia Eagles love playing prevent defense and not preventing shit. 20-yard completion, 10-yard completion, 20-yard completion, get all the way down to like the 5, little out route, boom, touchdown with like 30 seconds left. Then Jalen Hurts has his chance, and he gets hit while he's trying to make a throw to Devontae Smith, gets picked off by Jesse Bates, game over. Could have been 2-0. Could have been 2-0. One decision cost you the game. And that's how it happens sometimes. On to this week. First with the NCAA. We're going to run through this very, very quickly, okay? Very quickly. Nebraska Illinois at Nebraska. Number 24 versus number 22, both 3-0. I'm going Nebraska. I think Raiola has a great game. Ohio State versus Marshall's a ass-kicking. Clemson versus NC State. It's going to be interesting, but I'm going to go Clemson because they're at home. Iowa State versus Arkansas State. It's an ass-kicking. Penn State versus Kent State. That's an ass-kicking. USC, Michigan. I am going USC. Better quarterback, especially since David Orji is going to be the one that's going to be playing. He can't throw. SC has more explosive players on the outside. I'm going to go with SC, the 11th ranked team in the nation, to go to Big Blue and get a win. UCLA, LSU. I'm going to go LSU. It's in LSU. Miami of Ohio versus Notre Dame. I'm going Notre Dame. Georgia Tech, Louisville. I'm going Louisville. Buffalo versus Northern Illinois. I'm going Northern Illinois. Utah versus Oklahoma State. I'm going Utah. Cam Rising, even though it's in Stillwater. But I'm going with the Utes. Vanderbilt, Missouri. We're going with Missouri. That's an ass-kicking. Miami versus South Florida. In South Florida, we're going Miami. That should be an ass-kicking too. Tennessee, Oklahoma. I'm going Tennessee. There is no way they're going to stop Nico. Ain't no way that they're going to stop Nico Iamaleava. Okay, so I'm going to go Tennessee, even though it's in Norman. Bowling Green, Texas A&M. Ass-kicking, Texas A&M. Georgia Southern versus Ole Miss. Ass-kicking, Ole Miss. UL Monroe versus number 1 Texas. Ass-kicking Texas. Archie Manning is starting and possibly to keep his job. Possibly. If he plays like he did this past week, I don't think they'll take the job away from him. And then Kansas State versus BYU. Kansas State wins that one. If we go to FBS, just a couple of, let's see, stuff that you guys might be worried about. Like Florida, Mississippi State. I'm going Mississippi State. It's in Mississippi State. That's going to be tough. North Carolina, James Madison, North Carolina. Houston versus Cincinnati. I'm going Cincy. Kansas versus West Virginia. I'm going West Virginia. Even though I like Kansas quarterback, but he hasn't shown me shit. So I'm going West Virginia. It's in their house. Other than that, yeah, like Iowa State, Arkansas State, destruction by Iowa State. I think the Cyclones got that. Other than that, I believe that's everybody you guys would want to know about. Arkansas versus Auburn. I'm gonna go War Eagles. I'm gonna go Auburn Tigers there. Virginia Tech, Rutgers. You guys don't want to. It's Virginia Tech, Texas Tech, Arizona State. I'm gonna go Arizona State. They're 3-0, but it's in Texas Tech. But I'm gonna go Arizona State there. Other than that, Colorado State, UTEP. Let's see what Colorado's facing this week. Northwestern versus Washington. I think I'm going to go Washington there. California versus Florida State. I'm going California. They're 3-0. So I think if they win there, maybe they get into the top 25, possibly. Where is Minnesota versus Iowa? Row the boat. I'm going Minnesota. Michigan State, Boston College. I'm going Michigan State. Sparty is 3-0. Baylor versus Colorado on Fox, 8 p.m. I'm going Colorado just because of the offensive firepower of Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, along with Jimmy Horn, and Webster. They can't run the ball worth a lick. They can't rush the passer worth a lick, but I think the offensive firepower is enough. And that's about it. If we go to NFL, week 3 tonight, Patriots-Jets. We're going with the Jets. Velez, but how can you go with the Jets? Velez. The Patriots defense is crazy. I don't care about the Patriots defense when their offense is going against a good defense. Their offense is going against a good defense, especially on the outside. They have literally, besides Jalen Polk, in my honest opinion, and Hunter Henry, they have nobody on the outside who can even come close to matching up with DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. And Michael Carter in the nickel. Nobody. Zero. Nobody. So what I think is you're going to try to run the ball against Quinnen Williams, against Quincy, against Will McDonald, because Jermaine Johnson tore his Achilles last week. And that's what you're doing. They don't have no Hassan Reddick. But I don't think that matters when the inside of that line and those linebacking cores is going to be looking for the run. They're not going to be able to pass the ball. So we're going with the Jets in New York. Chargers, Steelers. We're going Chargers. Why? Quarterback. Oh, but no receivers. I think Quentin Johnston has taken the leap, a.k.a. he can catch. I think Ladd McConkey's going to do good. I think they're going to be able to run the ball a little bit with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. But I just don't think that Justin Fields will muster up enough offense versus that vaunted defense of the Chargers. Yes, I say vaunted. Why do I say vaunted? Because it's still Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the other side, along with Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. So that's a vaunted defense, along with Harbaugh, which has them playing hard-nosed defense. I'm going to go with the Chargers there. Texans-Vikings, we're going with the Texans. C.J. Stroud is better than Sam Darnold. The weapons is kind of an even matchup unless Jordan Addison does not play. Defense versus defense, I'm going to take the Texans. It's on the road. It's at the Skull. It's in Minnesota, but I'm going to go with the Texans. I think they're the better team. Eagles-Saints. This is a toss-up of preposterous proportions. But I'm going to have to go Saints. It's in New Orleans. They're going to be rowdy. Do I think that they have the necessary secondary to cover a guy like Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave? Maybe. But I think the offensive line of the Saints holds up. I think they can run the ball a little bit because Bijan ran the ball, and they have a really good offensive line with AK. So I think that they're going to be able to run the ball. I'm going to go with the Saints. Broncos, Buccaneers, we're going with the Bucks. Defense is better. Offense is exponentially better. Coaching is kind of, Sean Payton's a better coach, but defense is better. And the offense is way better. I think Bo Nix is still going to have problems. He's going to be better, but he's going to have problems still. And the weapons against each other, it's really Mike Evans, Godwin versus Cortland Sutton. That's about it. So I'm gonna go Bucks there. Packers Titans. I believe that Jordan Love will play because he practiced today in pads, so he's playing. This might not be close. The Titans have a good interior defense, but I don't think that the Packers have to run the ball even with Josh Jacobs because they have the people on the outside. You do have Charvarius Ward. L'Jarius Sneed on the outside, but on the other side, I don't think that you have. Well, I mean, you have Roger McCreary, but I just think that the Packers have too much, and I believe that the Packers defense just, does enough to make Will Levis commit mistakes. Unless he finds Calvin Ridley and D-Hop, then you got problems. But I'm going to go with the Packers there to bounce back with Jordan Love. Giants-Browns, we're going with the Browns. I think Deshaun Watson's going to play better than Daniel Jones. I believe that they're going to be able to run the ball with Jerome Ford. I believe that finally Amari Cooper has a good game. Maybe Jerry Jeudy catches a touchdown. And that defense is going to eat that Giants offensive line absolutely alive, okay? Myles Garrett, maybe 2 sacks. Zadarius Smith, maybe a sack. Owusu Koromoa could have a sack. Denzel Ward, maybe with a pick. Maybe Newsome, Delpit. So I think I'm going to go with the Browns against the Giants in Cleveland. Bears, Colts, I'm going with the Colts. I just think that they have more consistency. This is very tricky. It's in Indianapolis, and I think that's why I'm giving the Colts the benefit of the doubt. They're going to use JT a lot. They're going to pressure Caleb with DeForest Buckner and the people, and the guys that they have there. They have tackling machines with Zaire Franklin and EJ Speed. They have a Kenny Moore out there. So I'm going to go with the Colts, although it could be a toss-up, but I'm going to go with the Colts. Right now, the money line is Chicago plus 110, Indianapolis minus 130. I'm going to go Indianapolis. I think Anthony Richardson has a better throwing day than he does last week. Panthers, Raiders, we're going with the Raiders, even with the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton as their starting quarterback. I think that the Raiders still have Devontae Adams, still have Jacoby Myers. Bowers is being a monster. They still have Michael Mayer. You still have Alexander Madison. That defense still has Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins. So I'm going to go definitely Raiders in Las Vegas to get that win over the Panthers and the worst team in the NFL. Dolphins, Seahawks, I'm going Seahawks. There is no way that Snoop Huntley or Skylar Thompson can beat this Seahawks defense, even though we have the weapons with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I just don't think that we can have the muster up the necessary passing game to just get them off having a stacked box against Devon Achane. And the running game, I think we're licking our wounds a little bit. So I think that the Seahawks are definitely, especially at home at the 12th man, I think the Dolphins falter here. I think the Seahawks take it. Ravens, Cowboys, I'm going Ravens. I think the Cowboys have a legit problem only having CeeDee Lamb. I believe that their offense is literally CeeDee Lamb and prey. If you can't run against this defense, they're going to be on you. It's going to be Humphreys. It's going to be Hamilton. You're going to have Matabike coming off the edge. You have Roquan Smith. Their offensive line is going to be tricky, especially against Micah Parsons. But if they can run the ball, especially if they put Patrick Ricard and Derrick Henry to run the ball, I think that they can create big holes, especially at in the latter stages of the game. And I think the Ravens are just a better team, and they have nobody to account for Lamar. I think Lamar has a good running game day. Passing, they do have Trayvon Diggs and Bland and Lewis at safety, but I think that Zay Flowers can get open, as well as Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. Possible Isaiah Likely big game if they match him up with linebackers and with safeties. I believe that might be a good matchup there, but I'm going with the Ravens in Dallas to win there. Lions, Cardinals, good game. Lions coming off a loss, Cardinals coming out a great win. It's in Arizona, but I'm going to go with the Lions. I believe they bounce back. I believe Amon-Ra has a good game. I believe they can run the ball. But the Cardinals are not going to go quietly. They're going to run the ball with James Conner. They're going to look for Marvin Harrison Jr. They're going to look for Trey McBride. Kyler's going to run. But I think that the Lions have enough. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra, J-Mo. I just think that defense for the Arizona Cardinals, beside Gardeck and Budda Baker, they don't have shit outside to deal with guys like Amon-Ra or J-Mo, or Sam Laporta for that matter. Possible big Sam Laporta game here. Expect him to get a touchdown at least. And if they can't stop the run, I expect Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to have big games as well. I'm going to go Lions. It might be a close game, but I'm going to still go Lions. 49ers Rams is basically the hospital bowl. No Puka Nacua, no Cooper Kupp, no Christian McCaffrey, no Deebo Samuel. I mean, there is no offense anywhere. No Tyler Higbee. There's only Kyron Williams for the Rams and Matthew Stafford. Everything else is Tutu Atwell, Tyler Johnson. That's what they're looking at on the outside. And then for the 49ers, you got Ayuk, which I expect him to be a big part of the offense. Kittle, even though he's questionable, I believe he's going to play. Let me just check that real quick because I saw something coming out that maybe he might not play. But let me check here. Ayuk is going to play. He's going to be probably back to his old. He's going to be like really back to his thing. Kyron Williams, I expect a big day from him if they can run on that defense, which I doubt it because it's completely healthy. I think it's going to be a long day for Matthew Stafford, even with the O-line is all banged up. You have Rob Havenstein, Kevin Dotson, Alaric Jackson. It's coming back from suspension. But you still have Nick Bosa on the other side. You have Leonard Floyd. Talanoa Ufanga is expected to return from his first time. So they have their starting safety back. No Christian McCaffrey with the Achilles. Kobe Durant, the Rams' top corner. He's going to play, but he has a toe. Yeah. So Rams rookie Jordan Whittington will probably get a lot of looks along with Tyler Johnson. So Kittle will play. So I'm going to go 49ers on the road in SoFi. I believe they still have too much with Brandon Ayuk, with Kittle, and Jordan Mason, along with that offensive line with Trent Williams and that defense. So I'm going to go 49ers. Chiefs-Falcons, we're going Chiefs. That defense is too good. They're not going to be able to run on that defense. Bijan's not going to be able to run on that defense. I don't think Kirk will be able to pass against that defense. And then, yes, the Atlanta Falcons defense is good, but I don't think it's good enough to stop Patrick Mahomes. No Isaiah Pacheco is going to be a big loss. It's going to be between Samaje Perine and Jerick McKinnon and Hunt. I just think the Chiefs, even though it's in Atlanta, I think the Chiefs have enough to watch for a big Travis Kelce game because I don't think they have a legit Travis Kelce cover guy like a Kyle Hamilton or something like that. So watch for Kelce to have a big game this week. Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy could possibly get behind the defense against this defense because Terrell's going to be probably on Rashee Rice. So the other corner is probably going to be under duress. So I'm going to go Chiefs. Monday, Jaguars-Bills. We're going Bills. It's in New York. That defense is playing well. That offense is basically unstoppable at this point with Khalil Shakir doing what he's doing. Keon Coleman getting more comfortable in the offense. Expect a big Dalton Kincaid game against the Jaguars because they don't have a guy that can cover Dalton Kincaid. So we're going with the Bills there. Big game for Josh Allen. And then finally, Bengals, Commanders in Cincy. We're going Cincy. I believe that Jaden Daniels will have problems against this Hendrickson and Hubbard tandem at the ends. Also, there's nobody on the Commanders that can even come close to covering Jamar Chase. T. Higgins might be coming back. I need to check real quick. I think he practiced today. Let me check real quick. I believe he should be coming back to play. Jaden Daniels could have a good game, but I don't think enough of a game to, to cause a dent. Jamar Chase. Okay, so they didn't say nothing about T. Higgins. Let me check directly with the Bengals roster. See if he's going to play here. Higgins hamstring returned to limited practice. Okay, so he probably will play. Okay, so Higgins is back, so definitely going with the Bengals. There's nobody on that Washington defense that can cover either of those guys. Expect a big game from Joe Burrow, back to his Joe Burrow ways. Chase Brown, expect some good running game with him. But, yeah, I'm going with the Bengals there. That's the NFL slate. When we go to F1 is in... Let me see here. F1 is in Singapore for the Singapore Grand Prix. Very, very Max Verstappen-ish track, but I expect the big guys to be up there. So Lando, Max, Lewis, I expect a bounce back from all those guys. Singapore's at Marina, at Yas Marina. I think that's where the big boys really like step up. So I expect the big boys to be really, really up for the win there. And then finally, baseball. Today, Ohtani has stolen his 50th base. All he needs is 2 more home runs to get that elusive 50-50 season and basically cinch up the MVP. It's basically cinched up already because Francisco Lindor is hurt. The standings as they are right now, the Yankees have clinched. The Yankees have clinched the playoff berth. They haven't clinched the division yet, but they're 4.5 games up on the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles have been struggling. The Yankees have won 7 of their last 10, and have a 3-game win streak. Cleveland, they have a playoff berth. They're 6.5 games up on the Royals. The Royals have struggled a little bit in their last 10 games. They've lost 4 in a row. So Cleveland probably has that division cinched up. Houston and Seattle, they're still not clinched yet, but Seattle has a 5-game lead on Houston has a 5-game lead on Seattle, so they should be able to cinch it up here soon. They have 6 games to cinch it up, actually. They need 6 wins. Philly, 7 games up on the Mets, 8.5 games up on the Braves, so Philly probably cinched that up pretty soon. Milwaukee already clinched the division yesterday, so the National League is running through Milwaukee at least the Central is going through Milwaukee. St. Louis is 11 back, so it's done. The Dodgers are 3.5 games up on the Padres, 6 games up on Arizona. They've struggled a little bit, 5-5 in the last 10. LA should be able to cinch up the division. Unless something crazy happens. In the wild card, it should be Baltimore, KC, and Detroit has tied with Minnesota. They're a hot-ass team right now. They've won 4 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10. So Detroit, I believe, will get in above Minnesota, and that means we'll see Tarek Skubal in the playoffs. Seattle's 2.5 games back. Unless they get on their horse and really try to chase down Minnesota or Detroit, they're going to be on the outside looking in. Again, I think Detroit gets in for that last spot. There's 10 games left, guys, in the regular season. San Diego has a 2.5 game lead on the first spot over the Mets in Arizona, which are tied for the second and third spots of the wild card. Atlanta's 1.5 games back of Arizona and the Mets. I think it's going to be a dogfight at the end. I think Arizona gets in, and it's going to be between Atlanta and the Mets. And the Mets are a healthier team right now, so I'm going to go with the Mets. So I think it's San Diego, Arizona, and the Mets that are going to the playoffs. I think the Atlanta Braves lose out just at the end. Texas Rangers probably the most disappointing story in baseball. 7 game. Let's see here. Yeah, 7 games under 500. Not even close. 7 games back of the wild card. So from some World Series champs to not even making the playoffs and under 500 team is pretty embarrassing. Basically, their bats just went away. Batting average, Bobby Witt's still at 331. Vladdy's at 322. Judge is at 321, even though he struggled a little bit. Luis Arias at 320. Ozuna's at 306. Ohtani will end up 287. He's dropped a lot. Ketel's at 289. Jackson Merrill's at 292. Mookie's at 295. Altuve's at 299. Hopefully he can get to 300. Yordan Alvarez at 305. Harper's at 288. Soto's at 288. So that's for the averages. For home runs, Judge is at 53. Ohtani's at 48. Santander's at 42. Soto's at 40. Just hit his 200th, 7th youngest player to ever do that. To ever reach 200 home run to reach 200 home runs. Aaron Judge is at 136 RBIs. Ohtani's at 110. Brent Rooker is at 110. Surprise, surprise. Willie Adames is at 109. Surprise, surprise. Bobby Witt's at 108. Hits, Bobby Witt's at 201. He passed the 200 threshold, so he has 200, 30 bombs, 30 stolen bases, and above 330 batting average. That's insane. Season plus insane defensive stats. If it wasn't Aaron Judge at the top, he would definitely run away with the MVP. Arias will get to 200. He's at 194. Vladdy's at 187. I think he'll get to 200 with 10 games left. Altuve needs 20 hits. He possibly will get there. He can. Duran needs 20 hits. He's at 180. Ellie's at 64 stolen bases with 10 games left. If he's not running or getting on base, he's not going to get to 70. Ohtani's at 49. That has to update. He just stole 50 about an hour ago. Bryce Terang's at 45. Pretty nice if he could get to a 50 stolen base season. Jose Caballero's at 43. J-Ram's at 39. He could be a 35 guy if he can get there. I think he will. Sale has 18 wins. Scoobs is at 17. It's locked up. The Cy Youngs, there's nothing. Scoobs and him are 1 and 2 in ERA. Sale has a 2.38. Scoobs has a 2.48. Then you have Zach Wheeler, Fromber, and Ronell. So 2 Houston Astros that are going to be in the postseason. Clase has 46 saves. It's possible he gets to 50. Helsley has 45. Also possible he gets to 50. Sale has 225 strikeouts. Scoobs has 221. Cease has 220. It's possible that maybe they have 2 more starts. Maybe they get to 250, but it's going to be close. Wheeler's at 205. Reagan's made it to 217. Sonny Gray made it to 200. Michael King's at 198. He'll get to 200. Logan Gilbert will get to 200. Crochet, if he pitches enough, if they give him enough innings, he'll get to 200. He needs 5. Freddie Peralta needs 7 to get to 200. Yusuke Kikuchi needs 11 to get to 200. Pablo Lopez is at 187. Rodon's at 186. Jack Flaherty's at 184. Shota Imanaga's at 170. He won't get to 200, but he'll be close. But yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, possibly 12 or 13 guys that will get to 200 strikeouts. Pretty nice. And like a couple of guys that will cross 230. Other than that, that's about it, guys. For this episode. I know it was a quick one. I needed to hit you guys before the Thursday night game, even though this is going up tomorrow, but I needed to hit you guys before the Thursday night game, so I didn't know what happened. I love you guys. God bless you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all the support. I'll be moving soon, so the scenery is gonna change. I'm gonna have a helper in my girlfriend in editing the videos, doing clips, being my moderator. And also like we're going to set up so I can show you guys stats while I'm talking and stuff like that. We're going to use NFL Plus. So get excited. I love you guys. God bless you. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I leave you with the outro.
Que todos quieren ser el chamaquito que no puede